I had already been told that Dirk was going to be named Finals MVP, and so he was going to be interviewed on stage during the trophy ceremony. So before we went to commercial break, Jason Kidd and Jason Terry were going to do the what we call them walk-off interviews, which are the interviews while the guys are like walking off the court, still on the court. So we're sort of organizing those. And Jason Kidd is talking to I don't know if it was Doris Burke or Rachel Nichols or whomever, and I look over and because of the way that Dirk exited, he stepped over the scorer's table. So when a 7-foot man steps up on a scorer's table, it's hard to miss. And so I saw him, and I looked, and I thought, I wonder where he's going. And I thought, well, they're setting up the risers right now for the trophy ceremony. So he doesn't need to be in the locker room. He needs to be back out here. So I quickly left Jason Kidd, who was already in the middle of his interview, and went to find Dirk. And that's sort of when how I witnessed what happened. And then I went in the back and followed Dirk. Well, I walked in the locker room and he wasn't there. And I thought to myself, okay, well, that's weird. I thought, he has to be back here somewhere. And by that point, somebody from the NBA had was standing there as well, Tim Frank. And Tim was like, where is he going? And I turned the corner and I found him on a bench in the shower, just very, very emotional, overcome with emotion. And so I just, I knelt down to talk to him and told him, hey man, let's get back out there and accept this trophy. And he said, okay, I will. I need about 30 minutes. And I said, we do not have 30 minutes. I don't know if we have 30 seconds. And he was just there. And again, just very emotional, having a moment for himself, having reached his goals. And I remember saying something to the effect of, hey, you need to be out there with your team when they accept this trophy. You'll want that picture. You'll want that memory. And he didn't say anything. And for a second I thought, I don't know if he's going to get up and go out there. And he didn't say anything. And he stood up and he walked out and made the stage just in time for ABC to come back from commercial and present him both with the trophy, but also with the MVP. I did. When I was talking to him, he was obviously hearing me, but I wasn't getting like a lot of affirmation. I wasn't sure how he, where he was emotionally and where he felt. So, and even to the second right before he stood up and walked out, I wasn't sure what he was thinking. And so it was a big relief when he stood up and walked back out, because obviously he needed to have a moment, and but it was good that he sort of also understood the gravity of the situation, and he thought, yeah, I do want to be out there with my teammates, and so that was good. I think it was that this team was about team goals. None of them had individual goals. When you think about it, when you think about, when you talk about cast-offs, Deshaun Stevenson started most of that playoff run, and he was a throw-in for the Caron Butler trade with Washington. And Caron, didn't even play because he had injured his knee, couldn't even play. And here you are, the guy that Washington throws in on that deal is starting for us. And then we get to the finals, and coach says, hey, Deshaun, we're going to start JJ Barea. And Deshaun says, whatever you need, that's fine. And here you go, you throw another guy in that was undrafted, and here he is, he's starting in the finals. And I think those stories like that are kind of a microcosm of how this team was. Jason Terry was scoring 40 points for the Hawks, and then comes to Dallas, and all of a sudden, he's having 40-point games for the Atlanta Hawks, comes to Dallas and he's our sixth man. And those are the sacrifices that were made by these guys across the board that made this team special. And it all starts with a guy like Dirk, who's the most unassuming superstar this league has ever seen and probably may ever see. And I truly believe that. And so he sort of set that tone. But that was the personality of that entire team. You know, what do I need to do? And I'll stay ready. And you know, and it's about what we're going to accomplish as a team. And they were the epitome of that. I think for the guys that were around, I think for Dirk and for Jason Terry and for some of those guys, you know, 100%, you know, they wanted that revenge. You know, I remember watching the Eastern Conference Finals at Dirk's house, and it was the Bulls and the Heat, and we were watching the game, and I remember thinking, I want to play the Bulls. I don't want to play the Heat. I want to play the Bulls. And we had already clinched, and we were waiting to see who our opponent was going to be. And I remember specifically having the opinion of, I want to play Chicago. I do not want to play Miami. And Dirk wanted to play Miami, and I thought he was crazy. And he was like, and we watched that game, and when Miami won and clinched, I remember Dirk turning off the TV and said, well, here we go. And then that was it. And I kind of looked around. I was like, all right, well, I'll go home then. Here we go. And so like, it was just very, like, it was very, very clear that's who Dirk wanted to play. And you know, I'm sure a lot of that stemmed from 06 but he called it, and the rest is history, I guess.